Hey everyone, it is Jane with the Let's Get Loud podcast. Hello, Alicia.
Hello.
You know what? People really resonated with last week's podcast.
They did?
What do you want?
What do you want? What can we talk
Tom's book
about?
is out. I've been going
Saw
through
that.
it for the second time.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna start, maybe I shouldn't say this out loud because people will be reaching out, but I want to someone in my life who is also kind of working through the same, I don't know, going through the same journey as me. Was like, we should like talk about the book.
Oh, wow. Are
Like
you?
kind of like a book club, like just
Oh, wow.
and then I said it needs to be chosen. You need to be
Who are
chosen.
you?
If I don't reach out to you, I don't want you in my book club. Yeah.
Do you
So I
know
was like,
I was
oh,
at Holy
I
Whale
would love that.
yesterday and they have a book club that you go and sit.
Drink beer.
You sit in Holy Whale, you drink beer in silence, you read.
Oh,
And then I think after they talk to each other, and I also don't know if they're reading the same book, but there was like 60 people.
what, 60.
Yep.
That's too big.
Sitting at Holy Whale in silence, drinking beer and reading yesterday.
I mean, it's a good plan.
Good for
Hey,
them.
obviously that's a good success
Good for Holy Whale.
business.
Yeah,
60 is a lot of
a
people.
lot of people.
Anyways, I feel like
You
I
want to
need
talk
to
about it?
just, yeah, I need to discuss with other people because I'm discussing with myself and I've discussed with Tom so much
Right.
about that topic.
Hmm.
And I'd love to discuss with other people that are not Tom, the writer of the book,
Of course.
because he is so ahead,
Yeah.
right? And also like I'd love to talk to someone that's in my space. So like women, first of all, he's a man,
Yes.
like a 60-year-old
Yep.
man. I'd love to talk to moms and like a mom, a woman that is feeling like maybe even about weight loss because or health or wellness, because he's more geared towards behavior. You know what I mean? Like
Can we buy it on Amazon?
you definitely can buy it on Amazon, everyone. The link is in the email, is in last week's podcast. Or just go literally on Amazon and unwinding want. And it's right there. It shows up. $17 for like the copy. It's a small book. You'll read that in 2 days. Or free on Kindle Unlimited. Yeah. So it's good reading it the second time. And definitely will read it again with a highlighter. And so like things I want to talk about.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's fun. I love books like that.
Yeah, because it's more of a like I love that like he starts the book and he's like, this is not, I'm not trying to like teach you anything. He's
Okay.
trying to create awareness.
Okay.
Like wake you up, which
Okay.
I fucking love.
Fucking love.
It's all I'm about.
Wake
It's
up.
waking you up. Wake up.
Wake up.
And once you wake up, it's like you can't go back. You can't go back to sleep, which is really good. Like that's how you know you've progressed. You know what I mean? Progressed. Anyway, so
Okay.
that's what's up.
So speaking of progress,
All right.
tell us about your intentional calorie deficit journey. Which I literally know nothing about other than you said that there was a podcast on it and a live. Like that's the
Yes,
amount
yes,
of
yes, yes.
information I have.
Yeah,
So you might
yeah.
need to start me off.
Well, I mean, we talked about it when I came back from Quebec that I like, then it was like, I want intentional calorie deficit.
Okay.
Here's the thing though, it's that you also need to live your life and be authentic to that and choose every day what you want while
Wow.
knowing that you want intentional calorie deficit. So then you start to see if you are matching those two things.
Yes.
So you can be saying like, I want intentional calorie deficit, but then everything you choose in life is not giving you that.
And that's the thing, guys, is like when you say like I want weight loss, eh, so does everyone. Welcome to the world. It should be
Yeah.
saying like I want
want the
to do
behavior.
what it
Yeah.
would take to
Yeah.
create weight loss are two very different wants.
Well, there you go. And Tom would say,
What would Tom say?
Tom would say that if you don't want the things that need to be done for the last want, you don't want it then because
Exactly.
it's a part of it.
Exactly.
So it's almost like, you know, people that say, I want to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
No, you don't want that because you don't want to do the work that comes with being a billionaire or the lifestyle that comes with it or the choices or the stress or the whatever. So it's like, do your actions go with what you say you want?
As society, we've just said I want result. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want, and it's just
Yeah.
result.
Yeah.
But when we say the words I
Mm.
want, it's more than just the result.
Yeah.
It's everything that comes with it.
Also had a moment with a member because I was doing a live and she commented like a week later. So I was like, what was this live about? What was this coaching about? And it was about like, what do I want? And was about my calorie deficit journey. And she said, that's the thing, Jose, you're making me reflect on what I want. And I said, I'm going to make you reflect even deeper that what you're doing right now is what you want. Why? Like you're already doing what you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're like, I don't know what I want, or I want this, you are doing what you want.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah. Which is hard.
Like it's a
Sometimes.
hard reality
Yeah.
check sometimes, but like go and figure out why you're doing these things.
So if you're not
Why you
currently
want these
moving your
things.
body, it's because that's
You
what you
you
want.
want to not move your body.
If you are currently eating way past hunger every single weekend, it's because that's
That's
what
what
you
you
want.
want. Yeah.
If you are currently,
Yeah.
binge drinking and then
Yeah.
eating a full bag of
Yeah.
chips, it's because that's what you want.
So instead of spending your energy and time trying to figure out why you're not doing the things that you say you want to do, spend energy and time in it, an investment of whatever, learning more about what you're actually doing and why you want those things. That's where you're going to get more out of those behaviors than wondering why you're not doing the thing you keep saying you want to do. Like, look into what you actually do because this is what you want.
And then when we are looking for the result, what we tend to do when we are looking for the result is we just like, oh, I just won't do that anymore.
Oh, yeah, yeah, right,
It's
right.
like works for like 3 days,
Yeah,
right?
2
Or you
minutes.
look for the fix.
Yeah.
Or you completely change your life so that that isn't a part of it
Yeah.
anymore, but then that's not going to stay authentic. Like the way in which
Yeah.
we look for change
Mhm.
is not the way in which change actually happens.
No, less fixing, more understanding.
Yes.
Okay. So instead of wanting to change your habits and whatever, try to understand your habits and then they will change. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not saying, but it's like you need to, like, there's no bad or good habits, like out with the good, in with
Yeah.
the bad.
Oh,
Everything you're fucking doing is what you want to do. And it's not good or bad. It is what it is. Do you want to understand why you do these things and then go and make changes accordingly to what you now want?
why did you come back from Quebec and say, I want to create a deficit? Like what triggered that for you?
Okay, so it's almost the exact same reason of just yesterday being like, okay, like it's the feeling. Like you're
Okay.
so I loved I asked one of our team members, you were gone from the staff party, but I asked the team members what their goals were, if there's anything they wanted to share with me, and they were quite quiet. I was the only one talking. I was like, I'm curious as to like what I'll want once the kids are back to school.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that I'm choosing everything I want right now. So
Yeah.
I'm like, and I know this is what I want. I want to be present. I want to not really think about there. I want to spend my time. Okay, wait. Like I haven't walked this summer. I didn't want to walk. I wanted to do my one spin class, and the time that I have, I'm most likely boating or doing other summer
Yeah.
things. Then I'm like, hey, they'll be back to school. Like it's a different routine. Like
Mhm.
what will I want in that season of my life? And so I was just saying that, and I'm like, I think I'll want. I'm flirting with ideas, and it's so exciting.
So fun.
I love that.
Listen, I
I know you know.
love this.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what will I like? What will I do? Because the routine's gonna
New
change, and
seasonal
it
recipes. I
should
know
be
that's what you're
exciting.
thinking about.
Yeah, of course. I'm not like and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm also really good, and I know you've said that about me. It's like I'm really like always flirting, always like slowly starting
You're
things, making
so good at
sure
that.
that I'm like really ready for it, and that
That
I'm not like convincing myself
what you say you want is all the actions and not just the
the
result.
result. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So Built by Becky, who's like this
Yes,
girl
yes,
that I
yes.
follow. Anyways, she has this program, and I had never really like clicked on her link, and I was like, she was like, oh, there's a special whatever, and I see her selling her program, and I'm like, that might be something that would interest me once they're back in school because right now I want to spend my time not working out. Like
Right.
that's not what I want. I want to do my spin, and then that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I looked right, not expensive.
Uh-huh.
But then I'm like, you know what? I think you should prove to yourself that you're willing, that you want to use your time doing a workout in the downstairs
Mhm.
before you purchase
Mhm.
the thing.
Mhm.
So it's not even about like, well, if I have a program, then I'll want to go downstairs. No, how about you go downstairs because you want to go downstairs and kind of do anything
Yeah.
before you go in? Like I'm like step by step here.
Again,
I
people
don't think that there's
that
a
a program is going to
yeah,
fix their
yeah,
problem.
yeah,
And how many times do we buy the
yeah,
program and not do the program because we
program, yeah.
don't want to do the
Program.
program?
Yeah,
We want the
exactly.
results from the program.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think if you're like right into like listening to this podcast, right into like, those conversations that make you feel good, you're like, I'm ready for this program. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But if I always say that if you don't read emails, if you don't like to listen to us, if you don't like this conversation, all of a sudden the program is not going to be
Yeah.
appealing to you.
No.
It's the same for this girl. Anyways. So it's the feeling, it's of course the thickness that comes with the behavior.
Yes.
Of course.
Yep.
But it's not the number that makes me want to turn around. Even
Okay.
like this weekend. So I weighed myself on Friday, which was like a really like I was 152, which is like really good. Like
Yeah.
it's like what I've been all summer. But I'm like, it's not like I need it. I need to see 160 to turn things around. It's like my behaviors, like,
Gotcha.
whoa, like c'est fini. And the feeling,
Okay.
yuck, so full. So I'm like, oh, I don't want that anymore. So it's like you just turn around because like you're doing it for you, not for the number. I don't even know what I weighed. I told Nadia, and that's what I do for weigh-ins. When I'm interested, when I'm curious, I get on. Other than that, behaviors have nothing to do with like what I weigh.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I don't, it doesn't change anything. Yesterday I had an amazing calorie deficit day without knowing what I weighed. You know what I mean? Because I was so ready. Like, oh my God.
Your relationship with the scale is amazing. Like
Oh yeah.
it's progressed
Yeah.
like over the years.
And when I weighed myself, that 152 was at night. Like I weigh myself at night, clothes, no clothes.
Crazy.
Don't give a
Crazy,
yeah.
Jose.
Yeah. Because it's just like a moment in time.
Your weight probably doesn't vary that much between day and night because
There's no
during
water.
night you get dehydrated and you are just constantly dehydrated.
Yeah, exactly. There's no difference. No, there is a difference.
Mine's like 2 pounds.
It was
between day
2
and night.
pounds way back. Now that I'm smaller, it's like not as much. Like
Hmm.
the smaller I get, the less of a difference there is.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Like when I weigh 10 pounds less than right now, like low 140s way
Mhm.
back, I still remember. Sometimes it was like 0.2.
0.5.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Okay, so
Anyways,
just your
yeah.
behaviors, which I love. I think
And feeling.
and feeling. Can we connect
Feeling.
to that, you guys? Sometimes in our brain we have this like number that would like, oh, it's our turn things around number, but like
No,
no one's
sometimes.
in charge of that. Like
Yeah.
that's your perception.
Mhm.
Like, how about you just look at your standards and your behaviors and how you
Feel.
feel?
Yeah.
Like, how do you
Yeah.
feel?
I also like wanted, so tonight I have I don't want to say an event, but I'm going to a restaurant that we've never been. I want to choose what I want on that menu.
Mm.
And I said to
What are you gonna
Nadia
get?
this morning,
What are
I
you
don't
gonna
know.
get? What
I
are you gonna
haven't
get?
looked at the menu.
The friggin' smash burger.
I've heard, but I'm not a, like
Oh,
burger. I'm like more of a like you get the burger, I take a bite. Know what I
it's
mean?
so good.
I'm more of a like it's quite funny because at a restaurant I'm gonna eat something that is very nutrient dense because I don't
Oh,
typically
okay.
have
I see.
access to
I
like
see.
avocado and shit like that. Like I don't want
I
that in
see.
my home.
I see.
Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Like I'll take like a bowl of something or like
Okay.
because I'm like, oh wow, like oh look at all these
Vegetables.
ingredients.
Look at all these ingredients.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
I
So
see.
that's kind of interesting.
I see.
But I told Nadia, I said, I don't want to get on the scale and it play a role on what I'm gonna choose at the restaurant.
I
I
like
want to
that.
choose what I want
I
tonight.
love that.
If I want a popcorn at the movies, I want a popcorn at the movies. I don't want it to play any role in my decision
Amazing.
making. And so this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to grow a better relationship with myself
Yeah.
and trust
Yeah.
what I want and not judge and not have the number manipulate my choices. However, have my standards manipulate,
And how you feel.
yeah, and how I feel. And really my standards are based on how I feel
Mhm.
all the time.
Mhm.
Know what I mean? I don't believe in bad or good behaviors either. Like I'm like, stop eating because you feel like shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not because
Like,
it's
not because
bad.
it's bad. It's just like, Jose, like you go to bed with heartburn. Like that's not your jam. Like it's been 3 days. Like it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I was like, okay, like definitely done, ready for it, excited. Like that's when you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Also, because we have the knowledge where we know creating an intentional calorie deficit
is
doesn't
like
suck.
pretty easy. Like yeah, pretty simple.
So we don't have that like dread of like get back on track,
Yeah.
do that, like that dread of
So
like,
grateful for that.
I don't have the like, let's say I'm like, oh, gonna be calorie deficit week. It's not like Sunday I'm gonna eat like an asshole all day to
No.
prepare myself.
Yeah, no,
you
so ready.
know?
Like didn't eat Sunday night after you guys left. I wasn't like preparing for the next day. You've eaten enough.
It's over.
Also, it was the whole well, there's so many things that I'm grateful for. Like on Monday, I said to you, I just created a calorie deficit. I still ate chocolate. I still
Yeah.
like, did like there's no I love that I know that there's no food. Like
There's
all
no
foods,
look. There's
yeah,
no
there's no
food.
food.
There's no.
Also, it's like I said to team when I was like I couldn't stop talking and sharing with them, is I said, aren't we lucky that no matter where we know we have access to weight loss, we have hope that like I can choose whatever I want every day, but there's a lot of people that are like, oh,
can't
I
have
gained
that.
weight. Well, I gained weight and it's like this big mountain. I'm like, oh, the minute I don't want this, I can choose differently, just like that. And for some, it's like it's not. They don't feel like they have access to it that quickly.
Yeah.
And I said, like, isn't this great? Because like Christine was also saying, like, it was her ending her vacation.
Yeah.
And she said, this weather played
Yes.
a big role.
Yes.
Like this weather is playing a big role in my decisions versus last year when it was raining all the time in
Right.
August. I was like back to routine, like it's
Yeah.
fucking raining. I'm
Yeah.
doing nothing. Like,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like easier when whatever, but I would not switch sunshine and heat for a, a a calorie deficit. You know what I mean? It's almost like I wouldn't switch Tim Hortons for I would have the weight loss. You know when we said
Yeah.
like straight trade. I
Yeah.
want my life back for 5 pounds.
Yeah. But here's the piece as well that I think that we go into and why we're so at peace with it is because I know that even when it's sunny, I can choose a calorie deficit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So
But
it's
there's
like
just like, but you can also there's yeah.
like I wake up every single day knowing no matter where I am, what I'm doing,
Yeah.
what food is in my fridge, that I have access to intentionally create a deficit or not.
Or
Like
not.
that
I was
I
gonna
am,
say
and I am never the victim of
of
a
the
barbecue,
sunshine.
the sunshine,
No,
a
it's what
boat,
we
a beach.
wanted.
It's what I want.
Wanted. Yeah. So I think that's why it's like, excuse me, it's sunny and we're out and there's way more restaurant. I want that. Like, and not feel any guilt or shame. Also, while you're choosing that, you know you have access to a calorie deficit whenever you want.
Yeah.
Whenever you want to switch it around, you know? It's
Um,
my birthday week and I was still like, you want calorie deficit this week. You know what I mean? Because I've chosen differently.
what like when you're like, hey, I am intentionally creating a calorie deficit, like what does that like
One thing.
look like
It's
for you?
one thing.
Oh, okay, tell us.
You do not eat unless you're hungry. It's one fucking rule. You guys, society would be so much more, I don't want to say healthier, but less heavy if we were all just like we would stop the conditioning of like we should be eating at this time and this time and that time and blah blah blah. Just eat when you're hungry and say to your spouse, "Hey, I'm not hungry right now. Maybe you are. You can eat. I don't have to eat." This whole like we have to like do all of this together. This woman at our location in Chediac was like, "I lost 10 pounds just by stopping to say no to starting to say no to my husband." Like he was like, "What are we having for lunch?" And she's like, I just had breakfast because she woke up late and went. She's like, I just ate at 11. But in the past, it would have been like,
Oof.
hey, I'm creating lunch now and we're eating sandwiches, but
Okay.
wasn't hungry. Like sometimes people struggle with telling other people they're not hungry.
And I also think that
It
as
could
a
at least up the
society,
gain.
we have lost sight of what actual
Yeah.
true physiological hunger
Yeah.
feels like as well. That's a little bit of a conversation as well.
Yeah,
It's
we think because we're not extremely full that being not full doesn't mean you're hungry.
no.
No.
And there's some fear behind hunger. And a lot of
Yeah.
that is stemmed from probably
Diet
previous
culture.
diet culture and history when
Yeah.
you literally couldn't
Experience.
eat
When you're hungry.
or you would be like,
Rationing.
ruining your diet if
Yeah.
you ate, you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot, that's a piece of it.
Or
So, okay.
rationing your calories or points to be able to make it.
So basically for you, an intentional calorie deficit is you listening to your hunger. As simple as
What
that.
that simple. There's no list of foods I can or cannot eat.
Okay.
It's like you will not eat. And you know what? Like I ate so much in the past 3 days that like it was 1:30 p.m. until I was like,
Oh yeah.
I am now hungry. And I did a
Yeah.
spin class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, Jose, if you really listen to it, you're not really hungry right
Yeah.
now. You know
Because
what I
your
mean?
body is like, I'm good. Like you just gave me a ton of energy. Because that's what calories are. Like it's energy.
Yeah.
And your body's like, I'm good.
I'm like so
I
good.
actually saved some for later for you.
So I'm just gonna yeah, exactly. So I'm just gonna listen. I just listen to my body.
Okay.
That's it.
And
But
how
today I was hungry first thing in the morning. I
right,
did
'cause
spin because I
yes.
went to bed last night.
Yeah.
So it looks different every
Oh yeah. My hunger is quite like cyclical in a sense, I
Yeah.
find. Like so like if I have a day where I was definitely in a surplus, I can like easily create a deficit the next day, I feel like,
Yeah,
listening to
yeah.
my hunger, but then the next day I'm more hungry than I was that
Yeah,
day.
yeah, exactly. So you can't repeat it.
No, you can't.
You can't repeat
No,
it.
honoring your hunger is a
Is
huge
it's
piece.
a daily thing. But it's also you can't repeat honoring your hunger because it's different every day.
And do you wake up and like think about like what does it look like for you? Do you wake up and think about your day? Like do you write
Well,
it
no
down?
matter
Do you
what,
journal? What do you do?
no matter what, even on calorie surplus days and whatever, intentions are always set.
So
Right?
you like think about your day?
Yeah, I every day, no matter what, it's like, okay, today is this and that and that, and this is what I'm gonna do, and these are my intentions. And so I do that no matter what. And the intentions are just to create a calorie deficit versus the other days they weren't. Like I'm not gonna wake up on a day where I have a lot of things that I know I want to eat and do and be like, I want a calorie deficit just because it's like a pretty thing to say and you would like want to say that out loud. Absolutely not. I'm very honest with what I want that day. So it's like today I'm going to move my body. I'm going to really try to manage my surplus with my choices, and I'm going to be intentional with that. No judgment, whatever it is, what it is. Yeah.
I'm the same. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, if I have like a big day like that, it's like, I'm just going to try and manage my surplus.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole nother,
Yeah.
and I'm intentional.
Well, managing our surplus was part of the conversation when we went to Quebec. And that was a podcast already. Okay.
According everyone's lives, you guys.
Yeah.
Because we are the default parents, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I feel
Well,
like this
thank
is
you.
good.
That was so good, and thank you so much for that update, ma'am.
You're so welcome. Stay tuned because this week we're gonna be launching something super exciting that's coming. It's gonna be free,
Yep.
helping you with intentional weight loss.
Yep.
Because we feel like this is the most important conversation when it comes to weight loss.
Yeah.
Is that it needs to be intentional. You need
Yeah.
to set intentions, and they need to be your intentions. And that's the thing. You can't copy someone else's day.
Like, I don't think that me waking up being like, I'm gonna listen to my hunger today. For me, that doesn't feel. I'm like, I need more.
Oh wow, no,
You know.
I don't need more. That's
And
enough.
but we're different.
Yeah.
Humans, so
Yeah.
our intentions will look different every day.
Yeah.
And that it's not what we're setting for intentions, is that we are setting
Yeah.
intentions and we're staying connected. I can't help but give you guys homework. I would love for you to just ask yourself, do I set intentions daily?
Yeah.
Like, do I have a moment where it's journaling, thinking, planning, whatever,
Yeah.
where I think about my day and I
Yeah.
think about how I want to show up
Yeah.
today, every day? Do
Yeah.
you do that? I want to know.
I want to know. Tell us.
I feel like most people do not.
Oh, for sure. Especially moms. They plan everyone else's day.
Mm.
Okay, bye, you guys. Have a great week. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.